Hello, my name is Rob Wright. I have taught European law to the Hungarian Parliament, the Slovak Ministry of Justice, and the Slovak Supreme Court, as well as been a legal consultant on issues of international law. We have confirmed that SCIO is a fully registered, validated, and verified medical instrument. We have reviewed the science behind the device with qualified scientists and found it very scientific. We checked the safety and medical CE marks and found them both to be fully validated. Yes, you need 2 CE registrations to sell a device in Europe. A safety CE mark simply means it has been tested as safe and won't directly hurt anyone. But to sell a medical device, you need a medical description of your medical claims. We reviewed a 40-year history of science studies, books, articles, and training in medical schools on the SCIO. Everything is true. We have reviewed over 200 articles on the SCIO technology appearing in ISSN-registered peer-reviewed medical journals and found them to be verified. There have been over 100 double-blind clinical studies done on the SCIO. We painstakingly went over all of this and found every study to be to the letter of the law with proper ethic review and legal procedure. In short, the SCIO has been found to undoubtedly be validated and verified as a real medical device for diagnostic assistance and therapy. Over 31,000 SCIO technology devices have been sold, and the use of AC Milan, the Chinese Olympic team, Novak Djokovic, has been reviewed and confirmed. But with every such incredible success, there comes fraudulent copies. They say that imitation is the best way to flatter someone, but when the imitation is non-functional deceit, then fraud is committed. The issue I wish to discuss today is a grave one. It has come to the attention of the legal authorities that a series of companies are committing medical device fraud. The proper channels will handle this in a very slow process. In the meantime, doctors and therapists might be persuaded into buying one of these fraudulent devices, which could make them not only lose their money, but lose their license to practice and maybe hurt patients as well. I am making this documentary to help the public know more about these fraudulent devices. The sham devices we have found to be fraudulent include the Physiospect, Physioscan, Introspect, Orbion, Life System, Imago Sensitive, and others. These devices play on telling people the lies that their device is like the SCIO. They spend most of their time saying their device is like SCIO while bad-mouthing the SCIO developer, all the while selling their fraudulent, non-functional knockoffs. We have worked with the investigation agencies and we have found the following. We could find no validation or verification. In fact, the Life System people said if you are looking for validation and verification, the Life device is not for you. The science behind each of these devices was absent. The Russian devices presented a book of science that showed no real scientific process, no clinical data, in fact, no data at all. Our experts found the book to be poor pseudoscience at best. There was no description on how it worked at all. There were claims of a laser ray and sound to check, but the book described none of this. The laser was checked and it had no verification. The sound had no verification. The reported workings of this laser and sound were shown to be absolutely fraudulent, dysfunctional, and a complete sham. There were no clinical data by proper means, no publications, no medical claims CE mark, no scientific basis. no medical school instruction, no validity of verification whatsoever. All of what we were told of how it functioned was found to be a lie. Not just a lie, but a fraudulent charade of dishonest deceit. We interviewed doctors who lost their license for using such devices. We interviewed buyers who found these devices false and stopped using them after losing their money. The frauds were designed as copies of a real medical device with complete validation and verification, the SCIO. Most alternative doctors are math-phobic and they fear numbers. They dislike studies and use stories to decide. Most alternative doctors do not have the skill to know what is valid or properly verified. These doctors and therapists are easy prey for these fraudulent device companies. They use the computer date to make scores so that the data appears to be consistent, but this is but a dishonest, deceitful trick of a fraud. When we ask them a simple question, how do you get the measure of a body part? When we said you have a score for an organ like the liver or part of the liver, how did you get this score? This simple question can be important for you in the event one is asked to go to court and explain how your device works. The SCIO people showed us FDA registration, CE mark registration of their claim. They showed us over 20 years of science data, clinical trials, peer-reviewed publications, and even certified medical university textbooks, the ultimate proof. The SCIO can go to court and stick up for you. The others went into mumble mouth with pseudo-science ramblings of stories and innuendo. Then the fraudulent people went into a tirade of lies. The other companies live on lies and deceit to sell devices. They started saying malicious lies about the developer of SCIO, William Nelson, now Desiree Dubonnet. They said that Desiree did not work on the Apollo space mission. We saw the certificates and talked to co-workers who confirmed it. Desiree was telling the truth. These frauds were telling lies. They said Desiree was not a doctor. We confirmed her American license, and Desiree was telling the truth. The frauds were telling lies. They said that there was a warrant for Desiree for device fraud in America, but the warrant is for something different, and Desiree is a hero for confronting the FDA. In fact, it was shown that most everything these fraudulent companies said about anything was a lie. The amount of lies and deceit was astounding. A history of fraud, money, diversion, check forgery, false promises, breach of contract, and other crimes kept them moving companies to escape detection. In summary, I would like to say, as a qualified legal consultant and instructor in law, that the world of alternative medicine has a vision of the future that appears magical to the conservative mind. Desiree has worked diligently for decades to methodically make this vision come true. With science, with data, with clinical studies, with peer-reviewed medical journal publication, and now with instruction and certified medical textbooks validating and verifying this vision. There have been companies using lies to sell their fraudulent devices to make money and avoid the expensive validation process. You need to know what is valid and what is not valid for this industry of alternative medicine to prosper. Right now, this industry is considered as fraudulent because there are more frauds selling bogus sham-based lies than real verified devices. And when someone does a good job of validation and verification and even gets peer-reviewed certified medical textbooks published, the sham frauds join together to maliciously backstab her. When they do this, they degrade the profession. They degrade themselves. We have spent much time and effort making this review of these devices, and we welcome your questions. If you wish validation and verification of any of the discussed items, please advise.